this community is really proof that like women do better with money when we do it together. It's proof that like when we all come together, when we have this shared knowledge, when we can bounce ideas off each other, just have each other as support, like we do better together. And we're going to be bad bitches with money.
Gloria Steinem once said, "We will never solve the feminization of power until we solve the masculinity of wealth." Barbara Provost and Maggie Nielsen are the team at Purse Strings that will help you navigate the ins and outs of financial independence so that you can be financially fearless. This is Women in Money, the shit we don't talk about.
It's the holiday season.
Ba-ba-dum-ba-dum-bum-bum. Sing it, girl.
That's what we got. It is
Yeah.
the holiday time. And boy, have we been talking about it. We've been getting everyone prepared for the budgeting and the spending with values and the not overspending and the finish the health savings account, all the good things.
Yeah, I can't believe that we're already at the end of the year. Woo woo.
God, me either. Is that anything on your Christmas list? Do you think you've been nice this year? Are you on the naughty list?
I'm not on the naughty list. I'm on the nice list always. I'm a nice person. Are you on the naughty list, Maggie?
Probably. Been a naughty girl.
Don't tell us.
I won't. I'll keep that to myself. But, you know, I was actually thinking about how last year, and I think we talked about this, how I went to one of those like gift exchanges where everyone brought like 5 things that they loved the most and we all swapped or whatever. And like, I was thinking about how those were the gifts that I've used the most over the year.
Really?
Yeah, like there's this one like dry cuticle oil that you could also put on your face that's like smells like, to me, I think it's like a rose smell, but it smells like a bougie grandma.
If there's such a thing.
There is, and I kind of feel like that's my identity. Like I'm crocheting, I love to be indoors, but I want to be like a bougie grandma.
At the old age of 30.
Shh, yes. But no, that's like, I use it all the time. One of those like guava shea, I don't know what they're called, like the stones that you rub. And like, well, this one girl gave these Sour Patch Kids, which are long gone, a really good chapstick. And there was something else that I was like, wow, I can't believe these are the gifts that I use all the time.
Was it a silk pillowcase?
I gave that. That was
Oh.
the gift I gave. I'm missing the one this year. And I was like, but can someone really write a list of like everyone's favorite items? Because your girl wants to know.
Yeah, I've never been to one of those, but they always look fun.
Yeah. What are some your gifts, or what are the funniest gifts? Tell me about your gifts.
I have the gifts of peace and quiet. Not a lot is happening, except I do have the gift of my Maggie Dolly coming to visit me. So that's nice. But, you know, gifts, we don't really need a lot of gifts. Oh, I already bought myself a gift, actually.
What'd you get yourself? Was it from the TikTok shop?
A fancy smancy coffee maker with a frother.
I know, you're trying to imitate the coffee I make.
I loved it, Maggie, but now I need you to come make the coffee for me. But this also grinds your beans, makes your coffee, and has a frother. And I'm loving it. I am loving it.
Good, good. So I can't make your coffee for you anymore in the morning.
No, but I'm like, hey, let me show you how to do this so that now you can. And he's like, I think
You're pushing
good. You know what? He said to me, I can't believe you bought that because it's so unlike you to spend that kind of money on a coffee maker.
How much did you spend on it? I want to know.
It was like $650 or something.
Wow.
But you know what? Here's me. I drink coffee every day
I don't disagree.
and it makes me happy. And sometimes I have a cup in the afternoon and I like a good cup of coffee, and I don't really go out to the expensive coffee shops because I work from home. So it's important to me. And
It's an office coffee machine. It's for the office.
hey, I should expense it. Why did I think of that?
You probably should.
I should, but yeah, so now I'm buying some nice coffee beans and it just makes my day start off so wonderfully, and it was worth every penny.
Trust me, like I go to bed looking forward to my cup of coffee in the morning, but I am going to be worried about your heart palpitations later on because I know after I have 2 cups, which is 4 shots of espresso, I am jazzed.
I can make espresso, but this is actually a cup of coffee.
Okay, yeah.
And I mix my beans, so I did buy decaf and regular beans and I mix them together.
Okay.
I know you're sorry to hear that, but so when you come over, you'll have to unmix them.
I will. Don't worry. I'll pull them together one by one. Pull them apart. But good for you. You know what I mean? You deserve it. Why not?
I know, because I don't really buy that many things, but I pulled the trigger on that one. So there
I
you
love
go.
how Mike was like, this is not even your spending habit.
He was shocked.
Yeah.
I know.
Who stole our credit card?
I know. He's like, what are you buying? And he kept saying, it's on sale. It's 10% off. I'm like, I know. I'm thinking about it. He'd run in and he'd go, did you get it yet?
Oh, you'll know.
But I did.
Well, yeah, you can't even share it with him. He doesn't drink coffee. Loser.
No. Mm-mm.
Lame.
Anyway.
Well, as we close 2025, which is weird, I've been writing some emails with 2026, which is also weird. Let's celebrate some wins the community had created together.
You know what makes me so happy? When I meet people, some of my friends or just colleagues or other women that I've met at networking, and they've said to me, wow, I'm working with one of your financial professionals. And I'm like, oh, tell me more, and like this woman who has her own business who hired an attorney because her family is a blended family and they needed to get some documents in order. So she was so happy and got that all buttoned up. Also, she works with one of our accountants for her business finances, which is great. And then earlier, or just in the last few months, we facilitated a small business event for women in business. And we had some great facilitators there that were part of our community. I've had women come back to me and say, I've hired the insurance woman that I was working with. I've also hired the attorney there that's helping me with my business. A couple of them have come back and said that. So what's so interesting to me is if you put the education out in front of women and show them exactly the need or how you can help them and why it's needed and have great professionals right there at their fingertips, it's so easy for them to say, wow, this is fantastic. This is exactly what I needed. These are great professionals, and it's so easy to do business with purse strings. And that's exactly the model that we wanted. So it makes me happy and pleased to see that the model is working.
Yeah, I've had a couple people come back over the years who talked to different advisors and were like shook how like nice and welcoming and warm they were. And I was like, well, duh, but they would tell me their names. So I'd be like, oh yeah, that person's really extroverted, or, I know all these like fun facts about everybody. And I was like, oh, did you talk to them about this? But it is funny when people are like, they weren't this like boring finance drab, let's talk ROI and KPIs. It was like, they're like shook. And I was like, girl, I got you.
I know. They're such fantastic people. I just adore all of them, and they're so smart. And so I'm so happy when people use them, and we stand behind every single one of them. So yay. I mean, that's just what we hear kind of out in the wild. We don't get a lot of feedback, although one of our coaches that we've worked with said, oh, I was talking to somebody in one of your members, and I turned out I hired her. She's my money coach now. So that's fantastic too. Just, members working with other members, because we have so many different diverse talents and skills that are in our directory. That's fantastic too. So I love it.
The thing I loved about that conversation is, yeah, we had a professional on and talking about just being abundant, going in 26 with, a bright mindset. And she was sharing how one time she had a goal of earning $20,000 a month. And then it was like, what if I could earn my salary within a year, and now she's hit some of these goals, and she hired a money coach, which was so great. Cause I keep saying this, and it's like, I feel like so often people are like, a money coach when you don't have money, financial advisor when you do have money. And it's like, no, this girl is minimum earning $20K a month and still wants a financial coach just to make sure the day-to-day is set up. And that's such the difference of like a coach is that day-to-day cash flow, where the financial advisor is more of that bigger plan, those investments and things like that. But like a money coach is not just when you don't have enough money to go to an advisor. Like it's such a different skill set, which I don't know if we share enough about sometimes. And so I think people always think low assets money coach, not that way. Like it does not matter. You can have low assets and go to a money coach, but you can also be making in millions and still go to one, just because you've got to know, and no matter what level you're at, where your money is going.
Well, listen, experts at the top of their game have coaches, like my good friend Carlitos, my friend, the tennis player.
Yeah, I'm sure you and Carlitos are always hanging out.
He's got a coach or two or three, but yeah, no, I was watching him play last night. He's awesome. So yeah, no, everybody who at the top of their game is always trying to tweak and learn more, right? Listen, we all could use a coach, right? For sure.
Mm-hmm. And so some of these, like, I was thinking about these people who have made changes, and like no one was doing like something so drastically wrong where they just like reallocated money and like all their problems were solved. Like nothing was like a big dramatic thing. It was just like a step by step, piece by piece, and they like really made progress. And then to also backtrack into that, there were some big actions. So I'm not just saying like it wasn't dramatic. Like some were moves, some were, selling cars, some were doing things like that to make money moves. We just always have to remind ourselves, an Instagram reel is 1 minute, but it took 6 months to make. And that's the same thing with some of these finances, is like nothing dramatic changed. It wasn't like they were spending so crazy that all of a sudden they reallocated money and every, $30,000 was paid off in a month. It was always just step by step, like what can we change? But sometimes it was bigger changes. But yeah, I mean, I think we just have to give ourselves that grace of like, yeah, I did that one thing today and that was enough and that's going to be good, versus like this overhaul, because it gets overwhelming. Sometimes I'm in our sessions and I was like, wow, there are a lot of things to do, but like what's one that I can do today?
Exactly. Just getting started, right? Just doing one thing it's getting started sometimes is the hardest part. But you're right. It's kind of like, going to the gym. You're not going to go to the gym once and then all of a sudden walk out muscular and 20 pounds lighter or whatever, right?
Well, you're also not going to go to the gym and run 6 miles the first day. I'm hardly running a mile. God bless.
Like our coach would tell us, Lauren, you got to just keep pumping, right? You got to keep pumping that handle to get the water to come out. When the water starts coming out, you don't stop pumping. You just keep pumping, right? So it's consistent, repeatable, ongoing strategies and actions that keep you moving in the right direction. And before you know it, voila.
And so I would love our listeners to kind of reflect and write down, like, what were your top 3 wins from 2025? I know it's hard sometimes to look back. I only can think of like the past 3 months. I'm like, what the heck did I do in January? I mean, who knows, like that was honestly a year ago now. Do you want to share any of your wins from 2025, Dr. Barbara?
I can't really think of anything off the top of my head in terms of financial wins. We had a lot of work wins. I mean, we got a lot of things done at work. And, I looked at this question, was thinking about it. And I always think about that book, The Gap and the Gain. Like you think, well, what did I really get done this year? Where am I today? But the reality is when you look back at where were you a year ago and where are you today? And if you really had some measurements, you would say, wow, we really gained a lot, right? It looks like little incremental pushing the peanut forward, if you will, a little bit every day. And sometimes the peanut falls backwards a little bit, and then you got to go forward, and backwards a little bit. The life of an entrepreneur for the most part. But overall, even when you look at the market, up, down, up, down, up, down. But when you look over time, you've gained, right? So on a day-to-day basis, sometimes it can get so frustrating or very tiring or exhausting. Some days it doesn't feel that way at all. But when you look over the larger spectrum, you've gained.
I know. I was kind of journaling about this last night. And like, I know a lot of times they say, and like, if you work in an office, write down kind of the wins and the things that you do. And so when you go back and like ask for a raise or things like that, you kind of have that list. But I'm like, I think I need that list just to go back to myself and be like, see, you actually did things this year. Like,
I know.
Which some of them for us were just like moving a whole, CRM, which is, none of you saw that, but it was a lot of work over here, and like different things like that. But I know we discussed about some goals earlier in the year. One of mine was to make it the year of the dentist. Went twice. NBD. 3 times I had to get a cavity filled. I'll be honest about it. But
well, that's not too bad.
I did it. I'm a big girl now. The other one was pay off credit card debt. Did it.
Cha-ching.
Pretty excited about that. And I kind of picked a number every month that made me somewhat uncomfortable, because I was like, I can't link it into the new year. It was really where I'm at. So we have to push every month and make it happen. And we made it happen.
Good for you, Maggie. I'm so proud of you.
And then the last one was walking 10 steps on my hands, which...
Yeah, where are you at?
The month is not over. Let's be known that. But we're at about 3 steps. I mean, they're strong steps, but 10's hard. I don't know what else to keep. Maybe I got to get back to the gym. My shoulders are strong. I don't know. I keep doing the things. I just don't know how to stay up there longer. So like looking for tips if anyone has them.
Walking on your hands tips. I think that's amazing. You shoot for the stars, and if you hit, a third of the way, I think you're doing pretty darn good.
I'll take it. I mean, 3 steps, it's pretty good. It's not a party trick yet, but we're well on our way.
Well, depends what party you're at.
Touche. Let's go around some old people. Then they'll just be like, wow. Let's go see grandma, like grandma and her friends. They'll be like, wow.
You would really impress them.
I know. What can we do? We've also learned like so much from our guest over this year specifically. So I did want to highlight some of those episodes. And first things first, I thought we talked a lot about different things about taking away the shame, which I know is something we talk about a lot, but taking the shame away from divorce, taking the shame away from bankruptcy, taking the weirdness out of funeral planning. But then we've had a couple of people on who've paid down like $250,000 worth of debt, $1 million worth of debt, going to financial freedom. So taking away the shame of all that debt and how it's so possible, I thought has been fun topics.
Yeah, really, because people would probably not get started if they were so overwhelmed with that kind of debt and just think it's impossible. I'm not going to do anything. These women did it. They made big moves. They took on big challenges and they did it. And it was amazing. It's so impressive. It just tells me they can do anything. And some of these women who got out of these terrible marriages through these crazy, crazy, crazy divorce stories, they did it. Crazy, right? And you just think, I will never get out of this situation. And you know what? There's sunshine and roses on the other side. You can get through it. Bankruptcy, bankruptcy used to be a dirty word. We learned, hey, no way. It's a strategy.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? And funeral planning, I loved that conversation because it was all about being prepared, right? And not putting all of that on your family. And I know somebody who actually went and did it. So brava for her. Went and paid for it.
That's a smart money move. That's a smart investment. We talked about that. It's going to be cheaper if you pay for it now.
I know. All set and ready to go. Buttoned it up.
I bet it's one of your sisters because you guys are all type A.
I'm not saying.
But then some other topics that I really loved having on are some of these like super woman focused. So we had like the parental leave for entrepreneurs. We had, the egg freezing. And then we had some women in male dominated industries, both in HVAC and in whiskey. So I thought those were really fun bringing in those different topics. And I would love to bring in some more around that, especially like, price of adoption. And I would love to hear, what people's interests are as well. But these ones that are like hyper focused on women that also cost a ton of money. Like those, we did some on menopause, and I hear a lot about how that hormone replacement therapy is super expensive as well, which we don't have to touch health insurance because God bless. But those were really fun. And I feel like I learned a lot there.
Yeah, more to come on that because I think that focus is heating up and I have more questions. So we've got to talk about it again. We have a lot of questions.
The last one, like we talked about this more at the beginning of the year, but a lot of these like red flags kind of in a relationship and when it comes about finances, some financial abuse or just some red flags in those kind of relationships. I'm really glad we're talking about that now because I think we need to talk about it and normalize it because I think things that were once like status quo, people are realizing like that's not allowed anymore. Like especially like allowance for your spouse or not giving you access to bank accounts and things like that. Like, I think we need to keep talking about how this is not okay. And hearing women, again, who've overcome it, but just knowing like, money is power, money is freedom. I think this is just something that needs to keep talking about as times are changing.
For sure. Yeah, a friend of mine would say red flags today are billboards if you get married. I'll never forget that.
It's not wrong. You know what I mean? Like, and people are not just going to change those things typically.
I know. I just love bringing all of these conversations out into the open. And the more that we explore, the more it seems that there are topics out there that we want to delve into. So I'm eager to jump into more topics. And, the thing we did this year is we doubled down on our podcasts and we're dropping one a week, which was a great way to get more out there. And we're going to do that again this year. So yeah, keep posted. They're going to be really super cool topics.
So yeah, I got a ton of financial lessons from these different people, even if, like divorce doesn't really apply to me right now, but like I still got a lot of lessons from all of these different podcasts. So again, encouraging our listeners to kind of reflect and, note a financial lesson they want to carry into 2026. Is there anything that you want to practice going into 2026?
I'm always curious, like how much money you need to retire. I know there's a number and I know it's different for everybody. And I know there's always this never enough, all of that. But What do you want it to look like? I'm starting to think about all of that.
Do not think you're going anywhere.
Well, my sister said to me, oh, when are you going to retire? And I'm like, well, what would I do in retirement? I mean, I love what I'm doing. I would be doing this anyway. So I guess I am retired.
Bada bing, bada boom. Welcome to retirement. We're
I
all
know.
learning this right now.
I mean, this is so much fun. It's my passion. I love to do it and do it with you, Mags.
Thanks. Besides, Mike's not retired, so what are you going to do? Go on vacation by yourself? Someone's got to watch the dog you got. 2026, I was having some conversations and talking to some women, and things are getting expensive. I don't know if you know that, and I don't want to be like scarce mindset about it, but we're going to be asking for raises in 2026. And some of these people I know are getting like a BS cost of living adjustment. This is not what I'm talking about. So this one girl I was talking to, she's like, well, they're moving me from hourly to salary and it's a little bit more. I was like, did you negotiate? She's like, well, it was a little bit more, so no. I was like, we are getting some money, okay? And I know a couple of people who didn't even get a cost of living adjustment. And I was like, all right, you guys are working at big companies, you know what I mean?
I know, it's crazy.
And I was like, we're not doing this anymore. So we're getting new jobs or we're asking for raises and we're getting more money. So be prepared, strap on. We're going to go.
Okay. I should be prepared.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have a conversation later about that too.
I know. Sounds like it. Okay.
Just advocating for that. And then I think the other thing in 2026 is we're going to see, we've seen this, the rising healthcare cost, and we know more people are becoming caregivers. And so I think it's going to be really important to really use every resource that you have. And this is like scraping those company benefits and making sure you're using every last one of them. Like, seeing where else you can negotiate on any different things. We just got a call off yesterday and somebody just kept reminding us, don't take the first price, negotiate, which was funny. And, just whether it be like shopping around for different insurance plans or just making those second calls, but like everybody knows that like things are a little tight. And so where can we use those other resources that are provided, like from our community, from our paychecks, from other, benefits, even the simple things like, I don't know, the phone bill is now paying for your Apple Music or your Verizon. Like, make sure you're not paying twice. Like, really make sure, like, if you're going to be paying that Verizon bill, like, see what else they can throw in there for you, whether that's a free Netflix account or your Apple Music or whatever it is. I just think, like, we've got to really make sure we're using our benefits at every place and juice them out.
Yeah, you're right. They do, you do get kind of these hanging on benefits, and I always act like, oh, who uses any of those? And I already have this or that, or the other thing. But it wouldn't hurt to take a look at those and say, am I paying double? Should I be using this? What would it take to get this account? Things like that. And yeah, there are benefits at work I think people are overlooking that they should take a look at and really tuning into a lot of those. And I do think, though, with the aging of America, women will be coming into some money. And I think in this next year, we really want to make sure women are leveraging and using and investing that money, not putting it in a bank account, not giving it away to people who say, oh, I needed this, I needed that, and you have some money now, but really investing it in themselves and for their own retirement and working with the right financial professional. Because my fear is, as they say with the great wealth transfer coming our way, that women may not know what to do with the money, or they might just stick it in a safe place, which might be a bank account, and then not really leverage the investing and the time of investing and really leveraging it to its full potential for themselves.
Yeah, I agree. And I'd love to even lean in more about like the ESG investing, environmental, social, and governance, or even like when we do donate, make sure we're donating to those right causes. Because man, like you dive in like Susie G. Coleman for the cure for the breast cancer, like a penny of every dollar actually goes to a fund.
Yeah, really find out where your money's going.
Yeah, not just in your own paycheck, but the ones you're giving away.
Yeah, and what you're investing.
Yeah, I think these are going to be some of the trends coming into 2026.
Yeah, a lot to learn, a lot going on. We're going to get so much more education out in front of women. Every time I sit down and if a woman I meet asks me what I do when I tell them, the first thing they say is, I need you. I need what you're doing, and we need a bigger microphone. We need a bigger megaphone. We need other people to know what we're doing, and we need to get this out there because education is power. Money is power. and we're providing education about money. So we want women to, lean in, gobble up everything that we have to offer. We're not selling anything. We're providing all goodness, great information, great education, great access to amazing financial professionals so that they can live a life full of great, choices for themselves, their family, their businesses. So it's all about empowerment.
And I think this community is really proof that like women do better with money when we do it together. I mean, women, we've talked about this before, are so community oriented, which I love. And so it's proof that like when we all come together, when we have this shared knowledge, when we can bounce ideas off each other, just have each other as support, like we do better together. And we're going to be bad bitches with money.
Mm-hmm. So we're, I guess we ask our community, share the podcast, share Purse Strings. Let them know about Purse Strings. Some people say, I haven't heard of you, or they've come, when all of a sudden they need something and somebody mentions us. We want everyone to know anytime women, you have a financial question, concern, you're just interested in learning something about finances, that's what we're here for. We have tons and tons of free online tools and resources, 24/7. You can grab it anytime, and free access to our vetted directory of financial professionals who focus on serving women. So that's what we're here for.
So yeah, when we share this episode, we'd love for you to share your 2026 money goal, either on our Instagram stories, if you share them on yours, tag us or drop us a comment, what your goals are, and any topics that you want to hear into the new year. It is a community, so we want to hear from you of what topics you're interested in or which ones you want to dive deeper on. And trust me, we'll come up with questions to ask somebody about them, because if you're interested, probably we're interested. We're nosy little people. I just want to say thank you for a great year. Thank you for being part of our community. And until 2026, be financially
fearless. Happy holidays.
You've been listening to Women in Money, the shit we don't talk about. Now it's time to take what you've learned and make bold moves towards financial independence. Stay in the know by joining our newsletter for exclusive tools, resources, and updates that keep you financially fearless. Head to pursestrings.co and sign up today. Need a financial professional who gets it? Turn to Purse Strings' curated directory, your go-to resource for financial experts who know how to put you first. Love this episode? Leave us a review and help us empower even more women to own their financial power. Until next time, be financially fearless.